Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my house. Welcome to my LS. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you had a good day. If it's a good morning, hope you're having a great good morning. Hope you had a wonderful night. But welcome to my live stream. On today's topic, we're talking about sugar and why sugar has basically been branded bad for you. So this is what we're going to be talking about today in our LS. But I welcome you guys. Come and we have a chat. Hey everybody, very welcome. Welcome to my LS. Dan Rams, what's up? What's up? Welcome to my live stream right now. I see you, bro. Thanks for passing by. I'm just trying to share myself and see that we have some audience before we can dive into the topic today. But thanks for being here, and you're my first person on my LS. I appreciate, bro. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. I see you, bro. Tia and KK, what's up? How's UK? Hope you are having a good time. I don't know the time zone right there right now, but thanks for coming in my house. Thanks for coming to my LS. And today we're talking about sugar and why it has been branded bad for you. If you have any questions about sugar, please drop down in the comments or in the live chat. I'll be able to read them out and answer each and every question. Thanks for coming. I'm just trying to invite so many people so that they can come and we have this chat together. Stay around a little bit. Tian KK, if you don't mind, you can even share me to your community so that they can join and we have this live chat together. Tamatha TV, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Welcome to my S. Welcome to this live stream today. Today we're having an interesting topic about sugar, why it has been branded bad for you, and why you should reduce on your sugar intake or why you should quit completely. But if you have any questions about sugar that you would want me to answer in particular for you, I'm right here. Drop them in the live chat. I'll be able to highlight them and then answer them for you. But thanks for coming. I appreciate you beyond measure. So when we get 5 people in the house, we are going to start. We're going to start. So hang around for a minute. Hang around for a minute. Tamatha, if you're saying I have zero health awareness, so you're on the right channel, you're on the right house for you. So this is basically what we are going to be talking about: health and fitness and wellness. So you need to grow yourself to this very channel. But I appreciate you for coming. I appreciate you for coming. So we're getting started in a few. We're getting started in a few. So Tamatha, I'm just trying to, share out to different people so that they can come and we have a live chat about sugar. So Tamatha TV, do you take sugar? Do you take some sugar? How much sugar do you take? I don't mean just table sugar, but I mean sugar in general. A lot of carbohydrates, fast foods. Christinama Flex, hey, what's up? Welcome to my LS. I appreciate that you're here. Today we're talking about sugar and why it has been branded bad for you, and we want to have this honest chat and the reasons why you should perhaps reduce your sugar intake or why you should actually quit taking sugar. But I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you beyond measure. So, guys, I'm saying if you have any questions about sugar on your side, please feel free to come around, ask any question, I'll answer it for you. Queen Dayo, what's up? How is Kenya? Where are you based? Nairobi, Mombasa? Where are you based exactly? Happy to have you in my house and my area. So today we're talking about why sugar is bad for you or why it has been branded for you and why you perhaps need to reduce your intake of sugar. Grace's World, how are you doing? Welcome to the house. Welcome to the house. I see you. Thanks for coming. I appreciate. Christina Mafex, you're saying thumbs up for the host. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you from my heart. So basically, we need to understand what's sugar. So sometimes when you talk about sugar, some people think this is just table sugar. You know, the one you put in your tea, the one you put in your coffee, and blah blah. But that's not only the sugar we're talking about. We are talking sugar ranging from glucose, from fructose, from lactose, from galactose, from generally all the sugar. So, but we are going to focus much more on fructose and glucose. Other sugars, we're not going to put a lot of emphasis on them. So, Pinda, you're in Nairobi. That's my dream city. I want to visit Nairobi very soon. Hope I see you when I come by. So, what you need to understand about sugar is we have different types of sugars. We have complex sugars. Also, we have simple sugars. So, we are looking at it as carbohydrates as a whole. So you have simple carbohydrates, but you also have complex carbohydrates. We are not saying sugar is completely bad for you because you still need sugar. You can't survive without sugar. You still need sugar to survive. But how much are you taking in? That's the most important question. So we are going to look at what sugar that you should be taking in and what you should actually ignore. So I'm saying that we have complex carbohydrates, we have simple carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates, in a medical language, we also call them um, polysaccharides. Then we have monosaccharides, which are simple sugars. So basically, for Complex carbohydrates, you have so many chains of sugars that have been tied together and they form one sugar, which is called a polysaccharide, or what we call starches. But you also have simple sugars. For example, glucose is a simple sugar, fructose is a simple sugar. You understand what I'm saying? So what do we need to know about sugar? Is it really bad for us, or it's good for us? Should we leave sugar, or should we continue taking sugar that we've been taking? And I want to go deep into discussion and tell you why everyone has branded sugar so bad. And if you're still taking sugar, why it is perhaps the reason why you're likely to get some diseases. Pinda is saying you are welcome, host. We do a great collab. Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. So basically, sugars, simple sugars. I'll start with simple sugars. So I'll talk about glucose and I'll talk about fructose. So when I talk about glucose, for example, this is like the normal glucose you go in a shop and then buy and take without combined with anything else. Then we have polysaccharides, for example. Lowin Oman, what's up? How you doing? Welcome in the house. I appreciate that you're here. So, for example, table sugar is called sucrose. So if you get two sugars and you join them together, we call that we call that one disaccharides, right? So, for example, if you get fructose and combine it with glucose, you form one sugar called sucrose, and we call that one a disaccharide. So, stable sugar is called a disaccharide. So, it contains 1 mole of fructose and 1 mole of glucose. For example, if you have two starches, two glucose combined together, we form something we call maltose. So, that is also a sugar on its own. Then, for example, if you get glucose, you you combine it with galactose, then you get something called lactose. And lactose, for example, that's milk sugar, and that is a disaccharide as well. Then, if you get those disaccharides, then you add more, you form what we call polysaccharides. So those are the ones we call complex sugars. Grace, what you're saying, health is well, so I'm here to learn. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Grace, as well. I appreciate that. So, what do you need to know about sugar? So, when you ingest in sugar, this is the problem. When ingesting simple sugars, for example, if you take glucose, if you take even disaccharides, for example, sucrose, or what we call table sugar, it's the problem with the insulin, because yes, however much we need sugar to give us energy, because primarily our body needs sugar to give you energy to do certain activities, to keep you breathing, to make you walk. But the problem is how the sugar is coming in. So what happens is with complex sugars, with simple sugars, let me start with simple sugars. For example, when you take in table sugar, or when you drink a drink, when you're taking a drink, for example, soda, Coca-Cola, or whatever that has been, that has a lot of added sugar in it, what happens is about the insulin. Insulin is the biggest problem here, because for you to make sugar or to put sugar to use, you must have insulin. So insulin is released by a small organ in your body called pancreas. So that pancreas releases insulin in response to the sugar that you have taken in. And it will release how much depending on how much sugar is coming in. So if you have so much sugar coming in, then it's going to produce more insulin. So what does insulin do? Insulin will help convert that sugar from your blood and then drive it into your cells for either to give you energy or to be stored as glycogen or fat. Those are two pathways. But what happens is your body has a set point, has like something like we can call it a thermostat. So when you take in so much sugar, your body cannot work or cannot function very well when you have high sugar, or when the sugar has gone beyond the normal. So the body has the normal sugars, and the normal sugars, for example, after eating, should not go beyond 11.1 millimoles per liter, but let's not go into that. But when it goes beyond that, then the body has to do something about the sugar. So it starts driving it to either into glycogen for storage or into fat for storage. But if this happens over time, because I want to give you like something I can acknowledge it, like you want to imagine sugar, I mean insulin and your cells and sugar as like a lock and key. So you have a padlock at home or at your house, at your door. So when you want to enter, you come and open and you enter. So the key is the insulin. The lock is your body cells that you that you want the sugar to enter. So imagine you have a padlock, then yourself open the padlock, you want to enter into the house. So you reach at a point when you keep opening so many times, you keep opening like a million times, you reach a point when you put that same key and it refuses to open. You understand what I'm saying? So you've been opening your padlock very well with no problem, but this time around, you're putting the key and it's not opening because perhaps maybe it has started getting rusty, your padlock has started getting rusty, it has been maybe exposed to cold environment for over a period of time, or so it has basically started resisting the what? The key. So this is the same that happens with glucose. So which means if you put the key and you're trying to open and the key doesn't open, which means that night you're staying outside. So this happens with your body as well. So you've taken in complex sugars for a very, very long time. I mean simple sugars for a very long time. So what is happening? You're at a point when your insulin opens for sugar to enter and then it doesn't open. So it reaches on the door knocking and the door cannot open. So what happens is you're going to have that surge of sugar in your blood. And that's when we start saying that you've developed insulin resistance, and then we are diagnosing you with type 2 diabetes. So that's one. But before we reach that extreme end, when you're taking in sugar, a lot of sugar all the time, because you don't need it at that particular moment, it keeps going into storage. And that's when you start putting on all that fat, getting a fatty liver, putting on a lot of visceral fat, a lot of subcutaneous fat, and then we start saying that you're now becoming obese. But not only that, which at a point where these fats are now getting into your vessels, they are now restricting blood flow, and the end result is high blood pressure and all that. But we are going to discuss all that in a few. So that's what you need to understand for now about sugar as we continue deeper into our conversation. But if you have any questions, please keep dropping them so that we can have this honest conversation. Please, if you're still in the house, let me know. Let me know if you are still in the house. Let me know if you are still in the house. Let me know if you're still in the house. Let me know if you're still in the house and we talk about the sugar. So I'll keep going back a little bit for the incoming members so that they can be up to speed with me. I'll keep going back for you who is joining. If you're still in the house, please let me know. Let me know what I've talked about. And feel free to share me out to your friends so that we can have more people in the house as well. Feel free to keep sharing me out. But guys, thanks so much for coming. I don't take you for granted. If you have any questions about sugar, please don't hesitate to ask me out. That's our WhatsApp Moise. Thanks for coming through. We have three amazing people in the house. Thank you so much for coming through, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. M's Magnet, what's up? How you doing? You're saying this life is making me feel like I skipped all my biology lessons. Lord. And that's why I'm here. I'll take you back to your class. I'll take you back to your class. But thank you for coming through. I appreciate that you are here. So, Ems, if you have any question about sugar, please let me know. Let me know right about now. I'll be in position to answer it for you. And then we are discussing why sugar has been branded for you, branded bad for you, and what you need to do about it. Should you quit? Should you reduce? Or should you continue taking it the way you've been taking it? So if you have any question, please let me know and I answer it for you before we can go into the next segment. So we talked about simple sugars and what happens with simple sugars. So there's something we call the glycemic index. So sugars um, are measured are measured by using glycemic index, and that's how quickly they're absorbed from your blood. I mean, from your GIT into your blood. Then proteins, we use something we call the biological value. So what happens with simple sugars is because you've had all the starch removed, you've had all the fibers scraped away. So when you're just taking simple sugars, immediately they just get absorbed into the bloodstream. Then we kind of cause an insulin sugar crash because your body has to take it out of the blood, and then you feel hungry again. So that's why we call them empty calories. Like there are no calories that you're getting from taking soda, for example, because it's not going to make you feel full. That's number one. But it's just going to, disturb your disturb your blood sugar as simple as that. So that's what you need to know about simple sugars. But then when it comes to complex sugars, because there are so many chains put together, they contain a lot of fiber. For example, when you take, for example, sweet potato, it has a lot of starch in it. So when you take it, it makes you feel full. That's number one. But number two, it keeps releasing sugar in bits because it has a lot of fiber in it, so it's not getting absorbed from your GIT very fast, like simple sugars. So what does that one mean? Is you're keeping full, you're not overeating. That's number one. But number two, you have sugars being released into your bloodstream in bits, which means that whatever sugar that is coming in, your body is getting it, is putting it to best use. There's no room to store that sugar. So that's the good thing with the complex sugar. So I told you, however much sugar is bad, but it's good because your body needs it. It's the primary source of energy. But the kind of sugar that you're taking it, or what you do about the sugar that you have taken in, is the most important. So if you have any questions, please keep them coming, keep them coming. If you have any questions, keep them coming. If you have any questions, keep them coming. I appreciate beyond measure. I appreciate that you are still here. If you have any questions, keep them coming, keep them coming. If you're still in the house, please let me know. I want to talk to you if you're still in the house, because that's what That's why I'm here. I want to talk to people. If you're still in the house, let me know. Let me know. If you're still in the house, let me know, please. If you are still in the house, let me know. Let me know. If you're still in the house, let me know as we digest this topic. If you're still in the house, let me know, guys. Let me know. Let me know if you're still in the house. Anybody else, please let me know so that you can talk and digest this sugar. I appreciate that you are here, and don't forget to give a host a thumbs up. That's like my pay. That's like my pay. Please, please don't hesitate to give me that thumbs up. I appreciate so much. I appreciate all of you that are here. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted. Any questions about sugar, drop them in the live chat so that I can answer them for you. Drop all the questions in the live chat so that I can drop all your questions. Hey, what's up? If you've just joined us, we have an interesting topic: why sugar is bad for you and why sugar has been branded bad for you. And that's why you're going to join us right about now and answer. And I'm ready to answer all questions about sugar. If you have any, please put them down in the comment, either in the comment section or in the live chat. I'll be able to see them and then I'll answer them back. Margaret is saying, I don't take sugar in general, but I consume sugar in other stuff like chocolate, cakes, sweet potatoes. Over the years, I've failed to get rid of those things. Do you have any tips for that? Thanks for that good question. I appreciate. One, you don't take sugar, but you take chocolates, you take cakes. So basically, you take sugar because all cakes have sugar, have added sugar. So there's no reason, for example, you don't take added sugar, I mean table sugar, but you take soda. So you still take sugar because you have table sugar added in soda. So basically, you've been taking sugar, but not just table sugar, but added in so many other things. So one thing that I want to tell you is sugar is addictive. Sugar is actually 10 times more addictive than alcohol. If you didn't know that, you have to know that sugar is addictive. It has a calming effect on your body. And that's why every time you take sugary stuff, you feel good, you feel better because it's addictive. So for the tips to get rid of sugar, one, you need to know that sugar is addictive. And how do you start with that? You start withdrawing from it very slowly. Because being an addiction for a very, very long time, you don't want to wake up one day and you have quit sugar. But the one thing you can do is you keep withdrawing sorry from it. So how do we start? For example, if you're just taking cakes, get rid of the cakes. If you're just taking a lot of chocolate, reduce on the chocolates that you're taking. If you used to have, taking a lot of sodas and what, start avoiding sodas. So basically one thing you should know is withdrawing from an addiction, it takes some time. I myself haven't been taking sugar for now, let me see, 2 years. I haven't been taking sugar for 2 years right now, and I now don't even miss it. I don't even think about it. When I'm taking my tea without sugar, I don't even think about it, and I feel my tea even is sweeter than when it has sugar. So what you need to do is one thing. If you have sugar in your house, number one, get it out of your house. Are you together, Magnet? Get sugar out of your house. That's number one. So which means the fact that it's not in your house, even when you crave for it, you have nowhere to get it from because it's not around you. But if it's around you, then you get tempted to keep what? To keep taking some. That's one problem. Then number two, get substitutes for sugar. Get substitutes for sugar. Start taking, for example, get other substitutes. You can now a little bit start going to honey. As you know, your body keeps withdrawing from the sweetness, from the sugar. Now we start going to honey a little bit as you completely even leave honey alone. Like I told you, added sugar has two molecules. It has one molecule of glucose, it has one molecule of fructose. What happens is your body needs glucose to function, but it does not need fructose. And the problem with fructose is your entire body does not use fructose. You only have one organ in your body that uses fructose, and that's your liver. It actually does not use fructose, but what it does, it metabolizes fructose and then stores it as fat. So what happens, what makes sugar bad is because of the fructose part of it. Because the glucose part of it, your body needs it. It can use it for energy, but it cannot use the fructose. So the more fructose you are taking, the more fructose you consume over a period of time, the more it's converted to sugar, the more this sugar is, stored around your visceral organs, stored around your liver. There's some condition we call non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So that's what most people end up getting when they have taken a lot of fructose for over a period of time. So that's what makes sugar bad that I had not told you. So it has two molecules of glucose. One molecule of glucose, one molecule of fructose. So your body can use glucose, but cannot use the fructose. So all the fructose that you're taking in, it only goes straight to the liver. Your kidneys do not use fructose. Your brain does not use fructose. Your muscles do not use fructose. So fructose goes straight to the liver, and the liver just gets the whole of it and converts it into fat, and then starts storing it around itself, then starts depositing it around the other visceral organs, and then your skin as well. So that's what makes sugar bad. But where do you get fructose? What you need to know, you get fructose from fruits. What makes fruit sweet is fructose. So basically, fructose is a sweet sugar. It's what makes sweet stuff sweet. You get what I'm saying? So when you take juice and you have that feeling of sweetness is coming from fructose. But to make it even worse, you get the juice that you've blended and adding more what? Adding more sugar. You understand what I'm saying? So there you've made everything worse. But I'm not saying do not take fruits, but I'm saying reduce on your juice intake. So there are two different things, taking fruits and taking juice. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I'll explain it in detail. So that's what you need to know. So what makes things sweet is fructose, but your body doesn't use fructose. And what happens is if that fructose is converted to fat for a very long time, and then you have a lot of fat around your organs, around your entire visceral organs, you have around your skin. So that's when you start developing insulin resistance. And that insulin resistance becomes the hallmark of all other health problems. I don't know if that makes sense. So, my friend Magnet, what you need to do if you want to quit sugar, number one, because you're already addicted to it, you have to start withdrawing it from withdrawing it. Sorry. Thank God you've not been taking the added sugar. That substance that you've been taking, the chocolates, the cakes that contain a lot of sugar, start withdrawing them a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Lynn, what's up? Welcome to my LS. And you have an interesting question here that reduce juice intake. A girl. So this is an option for you. And that's why most of you've been putting on all this fat, or maybe you've been putting on a lot of belly fat and you don't know where it's coming from. So I'm going to give you a difference between taking juice and taking fruits. So basically what happens when you get fruits, when you get your mangoes, you get your orange, you get your apple, you get your everything and put them in the blender and then blend. And then after you filter and then remain with your juice and take juice, what you have thrown away is what your body needed. And what you're taking in is not what your body needs. And what I'm sure is you're taking that juice because it is sweet. You're not taking it because you miss it or something else. You're taking that sugar or that juice because it is sweet. But to make matters worse, for you to make it sweeter, you're adding more sugar. You get what I'm saying? So that's what complicates the whole thing. But your body needs fruits because you're not only getting sugar from fruits, but you're getting other minerals, other vitamins from sugar, which your body needs. But here we're talking about fructose. So when you take, for example, Lynn, if you are to be honest, if you go to the supermarket and you buy 2 mangoes, you reach home, you wash your mangoes and then take them raw. Just cut and take them raw. And then you get 5 mangoes and blend them and take juice out of them. Who feels full fast? And who gets hungry fast? I'm just asking you, Lynn. Who? Then you're saying I'm also because I be thirsty and I can't take plain water, it's really hard. And what makes you take a lot of juice, it's because you're addicted to it. Because we've said fructose is a sugar that is so addictive. And on top of that, it does not stimulate the natural satiety mechanism. So when you take sugar, you can take the whole jerry can, but after like 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you still want to take more because it does not stimulate the natural satiety mechanism that make the feeling that you get after eating real food. Like you've taken matoke, you've taken cassava, you've taken sweet potatoes, you come full fast. But if you take sugar, fructose does not stimulate that natural satiety mechanism. So that's why you can take a jerrycan of juice the whole day, but you're still hungry. That's the whole point. But the problem, what makes you hungry is it's because your body does not need fructose. So the body will keep signaling you that I'm hungry, even when you're taking in your juice. But the reason why you're taking your juice, it's because you're addicted to it, you're addicted to sugar, and you need something that's sweet, something that is going to calm your mind, something that is going to make you feel better, and that's why you're taking fructose. But over time, fructose is not good for you. So I'm not saying don't take sugar, don't take your juice completely, but how often do you take it? Are you kind of someone who cannot have a meal without a glass of juice? That's what I'm asking. So you can ignore it 80%, then 20%, enjoy your favorite foods, because no one can eat right 100%, but eat 80% right and then enjoy your favorite foods 20%. But some people do the opposite. At 80%, you're eating all the junk, you're taking whatever you feel about taking, and then 20%, that's when you take the foods that you're supposed to be taking in. So I'm not saying quit juice, but you can just take a glass, like in a week, you can take like 1 or 2, what the body can handle, but don't overburden your body with a lot of fructose, with a lot of juice. So Moses Ampe is saying, what could be the best breakfast someone can take without taking tea? Because tea without sugar can't move. So Moses, I myself, people say tea without sugar can't move, but I've been taking it and people have been watching me and they're, how do you even do that? I'm like, because I've left sugar for some time, I don't even miss it. I don't even think about it. Even when I'm taking my tea, I feel my tea is even sweet without sugar because my body has learned that it can survive without sugar. So even when you quit sugar for over a week, you start seeing differences. You keep withdrawing from it completely. But you have options. You have options. For example, you can have green tea, you can have coffee. You don't need to add sugar in coffee, right? You don't need. So one thing is you want to try as much as you can to avoid a lot of sugary stuff. And especially when you take sugar in the morning, the problem is sugar. Sugar causes what we call a brain fog. So in the morning, you wake up and then you're hungry, and then you take a high carb meal or you take a high sugar meal, and then by midday, you still want to take lunch. And you know the reason why? Because you caused like kind of a sugar insulin crash because you took a lot of sugar and then the body came and swept out everything. So what I always advise people to do is try to take in a breakfast that contains a lot of proteins. Because number one, proteins are more filling, but number two, proteins have a high thermogenic effect. What do I mean? You need a lot of calories to start breaking down protein. But on top of that, it is more feeding, which means you're not going to overeat. For example, have your eggs in the morning. If you take sugar, you want to take a complex, you want to take maybe a yellow banana because yellow banana is what makes it sweet is fructose, but also it has so many other health benefits. It has a lot of potassium, it has a lot of other minerals that you don't want to miss. But on top of that, it is not a simple sugar, so to make you feel over the day so that you don't have it, a lot of it, spiking your sugar and then spiking your insulin. So you want to make sure that you're taking breakfast, but you're taking it with a high protein and a high fat carbs, but you don't want to take a lot of sugar. So you have options. You're saying you can't take water, but some people take water and it's okay for breakfast. So you don't want to take tea without sugar. But the option I'm giving you is have green tea. As simple as that. Have shakes, have a simple shake or have a simple smoothie and just take that. But you can still take your milk tea, you can still take your coffee without sugar, and over time, your body will understand that you're withdrawing from sugar. And interestingly, you will even get with those symptoms. You feel drowsy, you feel a headache, a little bit of, you feel fatigue because your body is trying to withdraw from the addiction of sugar. But then after a week, your body will now normalize. And and this is how it causes it because fructose, your brain does not use fructose. Your fructose does not stimulate, does not enter into your brain cells like your ganglia, your hypothalamus. But what fructose does, it stimulates the limbic system, which is your emotional center. And that's what makes you feel better after consuming sugar. You have a calming mind. It even causes a release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter that makes you feel much better. So if you're not getting that over some time, you start getting some withdrawal symptoms. So those withdrawal symptoms, they're not long-lived, they're short-lived. Over a period of maybe 1-2 weeks, they start going away. And now you realize like after a month, you don't even think about sugar at all. Anyone, any other question? Anyone, any other question? My most, I appreciate that you're here. Thanks for coming to my house. I don't take that for granted. Sparing that time. I know you're busy working with Corona. I know how you are doing, Matia and Barara. Man, the situation is becoming tough day by day. But I appreciate that you are here. So if you have any question, please let me know about sugar so that I can answer it for you. Lynn, are you still in the house? Have I answered your question? Let me know if I have answered your question, please. Let me know if I have answered your question. So here the hallmark of what makes sugar bad is insulin. Because you need insulin to drive sugar into your cells. So insulin over a period of time, insulin keeping knocking all the time for sugar to enter. It reaches at a point where it becomes resistant. I mean, the cells or the receptors to insulin, now they become resistant. They can no longer hear the noise that the insulin makes. And what happens when you take in your sugars, they just float in blood. Just float in blood, and now you start getting problems. So once you're saying, I normally crush 1 orange, 1 lemon, ginger, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and 2 cups of water, and take thrice in a week. How can you advise me? Nice question, nice question. So he's saying, I normally crush 1 orange, 1 lemon, 1 ginger, 2 spoons of sugar, and 2 cups of water, and take thrice in a week. So the only thing I want you to remove from there is 2 teaspoons full of sugar. Just take it away. Otherwise, that combination looks okay. You have your lemon, you have your ginger, which has a lot of antioxidants. It has been found to be having a lot of anti-cancer effects. So ginger is really good, lemon is really good, and orange is really good because it has good vitamins and good minerals as well. So the only thing that you should remove from there is sugar. Because I'm thinking what makes you do it even more often is because you're having that sweetness from it. When you get that combination and then put sugar and then it's feeling sweet, that's what makes you take it and you're enjoying it and you're feeling much better. But that shouldn't be the reason. So please take it away because there's no reason why you're taking sugar there, apart from the taste. So people consume sugar not because there's any nutritional value in sugar, but they are consuming sugar just because it tastes sweet. So you shouldn't eat something because it tastes sweet. Does that make sense? I don't think you should be consuming anything because it tastes sweet. You should be consuming something because it has a nutritional value. And there's no whatsoever any nutritional value in taking sugar. So there's nothing that you're going to suffer from. There are no deficiencies that you will get when you have not taken sugar. Trust me, nothing that you're going to miss. So start withdrawing it from sugar because you've been taking it because it is sweet. Moses, please remove those 2 teaspoonfuls of sugar. Right? So if you keep taking the natural sugar. So natural sugar is okay. Natural sugar is okay. Yellow bananas are okay. They contain even fructose. But that fructose is, your body is able to metabolize that fructose. It's able to work on that fructose. You understand what I'm saying? But the problem is this manufactured fructose, high fructose corn syrups that are added in so many drinks that you're seeing around, the sodas, the beverage drinks, everything. Those ones, they have high fructose corn syrup, and that's the one that is worse for you. But the fructose from fruits, I'm saying from fruits, not juice, that's good for you. Your body can easily work on it as it gets other important minerals and vitamins from that natural product. But the manufactured one, no. If you still have any question, please drop it and I answer it for you. Drop it and I answer it for you right here. Moses, I appreciate that you asked that question. So what makes sugar bad? You should know it from today is the fructose bit of it. It's the fructose bit of it. And that's why even if you lick 10 kilograms of sugar, you can never feel full. Because your body doesn't recognize it. The calories they're getting from that are just empty calories. Hmm? Your body doesn't recognize it, just disturbs the body function, insulin, glucose crash. Your body gets a feeling like you're going into hypoglycemia and then stimulates the hunger center. You're feeling hungry again, you want taking more. And that one explains why when you eat sugar, you feel more thirsty, you feel more hungry because of that insulin sugar crash. And then the body gets that feeling that you're actually getting hypoglycemic or you're getting low sugar levels. Okay, Moses, I see that. Anybody in the house still having a question? Anybody in the house still having a question? Anybody in the house still having a... Oh my God. Nabs, you're here. What's up? How you doing? Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Nabs Ara is a Ghanaian YouTuber. One of the people who inspire me. I appreciate. Thanks for coming to my Ellis. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. So now we are talking about sugar today. Why sugar has been branded bad for you? Should you be reducing it? Should you be quitting sugar? How should you be taking your sugar? If you have any question about that, please drop it in the comment section so that I can answer it for you. So I think every time I go off sugar, so you're saying every time I go off sugar, I lose weight automatically and my body feels lighter. Help me explain the science behind it. Thank you. Thank God you have asked that wonderful question. So one, we said sugar causes weight gain, but how does it cause weight gain? So you joined in a little bit late, but I'll try to go behind for you, just give you the highlights. We are saying that sugar, we have complex sugar and we have simple sugars. Simple sugars, it's like glucose, how you go buy glucose in a shop and you lick that glucose. It's like how you go and take stuff like fructose alone, like you consume only fruit sugar, it has a little bit of glucose and a little of fructose. So we are saying that there are so many types of sugars. We have fructose, that's the fruit sugar. We have lactose, that's the milk sugar. You have glucose, that one you know it, the one you get from matoke, cassavas, everything that you know. Then we have others, we have maltose, we have everything. But we have the complex ones. So complex one, we have so many sugars that have been chained together and they are forming one sugar. And we call those ones starches, or we call them polysaccharides. So the problem is with the simple sugars. And to be specific, fructose. So I say that fructose is what makes sweet things sweet. The reason when you eat cake and it feels sweet, it's because it has sugar, but the part of sugar that is major there is fructose. The reason when you take juice and you feel that juice is sweet, it's because of that fructose content. But unfortunately, your body does not use fructose to get energy. Your body cells, the only part or the only organ that can use, does not even use, it can only work on the fructose is your liver. So what does it do? When you ingest in fructose, it goes straight to the liver and the liver converts that fructose into storage. Because other cells cannot metabolize it, basically they are unable because they don't have the enzymes to work on the what? To work on the fructose. So the body starts depositing, your liver starts depositing fat first around itself, then around your visceral organs and around your skin. But the first place where your liver tends to store much of the fat is around your belly, because it's almost the nearest. Then after that, it goes to your hips, then it goes to the arms, it goes to your face and everywhere else. So that's what we're talking about. That's why we're saying sugar has been branded bad for you. But your body needs primarily sugar to survive. You can't survive without sugar. That's why when the sugar goes low, you die, we bury you. So that's why you need sugar at whatever cost. You can't live without sugar. But which kind of sugar are you taking in all the time? Here we're talking about complex carbohydrates. And the reason why complex carbohydrates are good for you, there's something we call the glycemic index, or how fast sugar is absorbed from your GIT or from your intestines into blood. So what happens is complex carbohydrates, they contain a lot of fiber. You get what I'm saying? And with simple carbohydrates, fiber has been broken down and has been removed completely. So what does fiber do? Fiber helps you absorb, helps you in the absorption of sugar from your intestines. So you have sugar that is coming in into your blood in bits. So which means whatever sugar is coming in, your body is using that sugar to give you energy, to keep you running, to do any activity, to walk around, to breathe, for your heart to function. So what does that one mean? It means that there's no room for that sugar to be converted into fat for storage. But when you take in fructose and maybe simple sugar, because table sugar, for example, table sugar has two molecules. It has 50%, one molecule has fructose, another 50% has glucose. Yes, you're going to take in that 2-3 spoons of sugar, and all that sugar, your body will use 50%, and then 50% you go into storage because your body does not need it, so it will not use it. So which means it's going to be converted into fat. So when you quit sugar, when you do some exercise, then you burn, you make insulin more sensitive so that it is able to work on the sugar that you're taking in. Then if you're eating in a deficit, if you're eating less than what your body needs, which means the body will now start using the fat that you stored to fuel the body, because we said your body has stored something for future use. Because the body does not know that you look overweight, your body doesn't know that you're obese. It's you who knows that you're obese. But the reason your body keeps storing something is because it's not sure that you're going to have supper. It's not sure that you're going to eat tomorrow. So the moment you start, for example, eating less, like you've started withdrawing from sugar, so your kind of metabolism kind of goes down, the requirements go down, your requirement for sugar goes down, and now your body starts burning what it stored long time for energy. So it will break down the fat, convert it into sugar, and then use it. Get what I'm saying, Nabs? So which means you have to automatically lose weight. So you have sugar off you, then you lose weight. So that's why one thing, if you want to lose weight, what I always tell people, if you want to lose fat, you must quit sugar. That's number one. Quit sugar, losing weight will come so much easily. So I'm not saying don't take sugar. Take in sugar, but what kind of sugars are you taking in? You must take in complex sugars. You must take in green vegetables. You must take in whole fruits, not juice. You must take in sweet potatoes. You must take in lentils. You must take in, rice. You must take such kind of foods that are so complex that are not going to cause a sugar insulin crash that will make you keep feeling hungry and then eating all the time. That's why I was telling, even if they give you 10 kilograms of sugar, you still take them, but then you can't feel full. But if they give you 2 pieces of potato, not potato chips, but boiled sweet potato, you won't even finish them. And that's the reason behind it. Hope, Nabs, I answered your question. So that's why if you want to lose weight, number one, quit sugar. Any other person in the house with a question? Comedian Jamula, you see, I always get trouble pronouncing your name, but welcome to the house. I appreciate that you came through and you are here. I thank you so much. So anybody with a question so that I can answer it before I can move on? Before I can move on, anybody with a question? I was saying yes, thank you. Yes. So that's what we need that's the reason behind you losing weight every time you quit sugar. And we also say that sugar is addictive. There's no reason why you take sugar apart from the taste. There's no nutritional value. There's no any deficiency that you're going to get when you have not taken any sugar. Get what I'm saying? So if you can work on the addiction of sugar, if you can withdraw from sugar, everything comes so easy. Everything comes so easy. So we're talking about something like about juice and fruit. So someone asked me a good question. So you're saying fructose is bad, but should I stop taking in my yellow bananas? Because what makes a yellow banana sweet is because of fructose content. What makes fruit sweet is because of fructose. But the difference between taking juice, the difference between taking juice and taking whole fruits. Now, if you go to the supermarket, buy your fruits, take them home, eat them raw, I'm sure you just take like 2-3 mangoes. But if you come and decide to make juice, you'll get 5 mangoes, blend them, and get like a glass of juice out of them. And when you consume it, you still need more. And the reason for that is because you're taking in just sugar. Just sugar. So you got all the fiber, all the nutrients that are helpful to your body, and then you put them into the rubbish and then decided to take in just sugar. So that sugar, that's just fructose, but to make it worse, you add in more sugar to make it sweeter because you've perhaps added in more water. That makes it worse because it has a little bit of glucose that will help the body. Much of it, 70 to 80% of it, will go into fat storage. And that's why you can take glasses of juice in a day and you're still hungry. We still have 4 amazing people in the house. Please let me know if you're here and if you have any question that you want me to answer for you. Any question? Any question that you want me to answer for you? Any question? If you're still in the house and have any question, please let me know and I give you all the answers. Let me know, I give you all the answers. So most is saying, comedian, I think, comedian had a question. What then is wrong with me that I take much sugar but I never gain weight like some people say? How did I miss on that question? Thank you so much. I've reminded. So most of people you are trying to answer him and you're saying, I think weight gain is brought about by taking much calories than your body burns, so the excess can be stored as fat. Yes, you're right. That's one thing. But one thing that people don't know is that's why I've had this so many questions coming to me. People saying, people who suffer from diabetes, there are people who are rich, people who look out of proportion, people who are fat, people who are obese. But now we have even skinny people suffering from diabetes. And this is the problem. So we have different stores of fat. Our adipose tissues are kind of different depending on our genetics. So, comedian, you're storing fat, but your fat is not visible to the outside. That's why over time, even skinny people develop insulin resistance. They get non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. They've been putting on fat over time, but their fat is not being reflected to the world. I don't know if comedian was still in the house. I want to know because I don't want you to miss on this. So you have a lot of fat being deposited on your visceral organs, but it's not showing up to the world because your adipose tissues genetically, that's not how they are. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why in this era, you have even skinny people getting diabetic. You have all other people, whether adolescent, whether you're old, you're getting diabetic, but then you still have a normal weight. So it's no longer about weight gain that you say you're getting diabetes. Right now, it's about your genetics and your adipose tissues. Then what is said, you might be taking in sugar, but you're still taking less than what your body needs. That's what you're saying. So you're basically in a caloric deficit, and your body has maintenance calories, or what you call basal metabolic rate, or the calories that it needs for it to function at the resting phase. Like how I am, my heart is working, my lungs are working, my brain is working, my kidneys are working, and I'm able to move my arms a little bit. That's what we call basal metabolic rate. But then you also need calories to help you move upstairs, run around, reach home, do some activity. And if you go to the gym, you also now need the extra calories. Understand what I'm saying? So it's always calories in, calories out, calories in, calories out. But you also need calories. There's what we call thermic effect of food, because you take in calories to break calories. Because when you take in food, you need calories to digest the food. You understand? You need calories to digest the food. So you also need such kind of calories. So which means if you're taking calories, even if you're taking sugar, and the body is in a deficit, it will not give chance to your body to kind of store extra fat. But you can be getting insulin resistant. And that's why most people, even when you're skinny, you get insulin resistance that leads to diabetes, that leads to a metabolic syndrome. Hope comedian have answered your question if you happen to still be here. And if you still want more clarification, please head to my IG at Girls Fitness. So, once you're saying, yes, I agree also, you find fat stored on visceral organs, more to that much sugar can reduce insulin sensitivity. Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to explain. So you have a lot of visceral fat because your adipose tissues are not huge, accommodate a lot of, fat. So a lot of fat is being deposited around your organs that makes you become insulin resistant over time. So I agree with you more than 100%. So that's why people have been taking sugars, have been taking whatever kind of sugar, but they never gain weight or they never grow out of proportion. Any other question? Any other query that you want me to talk about? Any other query that you want me to talk about sugar? If you're still in the house. So what you should know is there's a small difference between sugar and alcohol. So if you're kind of an addictive person to sugar and someone else that's addicted to alcohol, there's little difference. And the difference is always the other one who takes alcohol, they'll get drunk, lose balance because alcohol goes to the brain and then disturbs your brain function. But other than that, you're the same. Because alcohol, you end up with alcoholic liver disease. Fructose, or sugar, you end up with non-alcoholic liver disease. So what's the difference? Ok, quand je fais So guys, we back. Just I've got small engagement, but I'm done. I'm still here. I'm still here. If you still have questions, please drop them. I have 19 minutes at the end of the stream. Please drop those questions here. So I was saying there's no difference between you who's taking sugar and someone who's taking alcohol. The difference is very, very small. Very small. The other will not get drunk for you, get drunk. But the long-term side effects, you are the same. You are the same. If you still have any questions, please drop them by. Drop all the questions. Anybody still in the house? If you still have questions, come. Any questions? If you still have any questions, let me know. We keep on growing. We still have some people in the house. If you're still in the house, let me know. Commander, I need to get in touch with me and explain to you about sugar. If you're still in the house, let me know. Let me know if you're still in the house. You are still in the house. Let me know. If you're still in the house, let me know and we finish this conversation about sugar. I still have 15 minutes to the end of the stream. Celeb Corner UG, what's up? You're on, bro. Thanks for joining. And please don't go away till I finish the stream because you came in late. Hey, what's up? Celeb Corner UG, do you have any questions about sugar? So today we've been talking about why sugar is perhaps bad for you and how you should go about it. Should you quit? Should you reduce the amount that you're taking in? How should you be going about your sugar intake? Because it has been branded bad for you, and it's indeed bad for you, but it's vital for you to live. So it's bad for you, but at the same time, you can't live without it because your body primarily uses sugar to give you all the energy that you use every day to go and shoot your videos and edit and do everything. But why has it been branded bad? And that's what we've been discussing, but we've been saying, to just recap a little bit, that it depends on the sugar that you're taking in and how you go about the sugar that you've taken in. So we're saying we have complex sugars and we have simple sugars. The problem is with the complex or with the simple sugars, but your body needs the complex natural sugars. Your body cannot live without sugar. And we are saying sugar is not just about table sugar. Sugar is a big word. Table sugar is something we call sucrose. It has 1 mole of glucose, 1 mole of fructose, and makes it sucrose. So that's table sugar. Then we have when 2 molecules or 1 glucose is joined with another one, we call that one maltose. When the galactose is joined with glucose, we call that one lactose. So there's so many different types of sugars. But here we're saying for complex sugars, you have so many sugars chained together form one complex sugar, for example, starches. And we're saying that your body needs starch. But the problem, the sugar we are consuming in this era, we are consuming a lot of simple sugars, the ones that have had all the fiber removed, all the starch removed, and what's happening is you're just taking in like refined sugar. And that refined sugar, it's where the problem is. Because you're saying for your sugar to be put to use, it needs insulin. Insulin is like a hormone that is produced by your pancreas to go and work on the sugar and produces the amount depending on the sugar that is coming. So we're saying sugar, insulin, and your body cells, it's like a lock and key. You're coming, open your door in the evening, enter into your house. So you're the sugar who is coming. But to open, you need a key, and that key is the insulin. And then you have the cells, the body cells, that is the padlock. So we are saying over time, if you keep opening that padlock, it just at a point when it becomes resistant. And that resistance, it's the beginning of all healthy problems. Because if you come and open your door and doesn't open, which means that night you're going to sleep outside, right? You're going to sleep outside. So the problem is your body has a state point, or it has something like a thermostat, sort of. So it has the level of sugar that it can work with that. So when it goes beyond, your body has to swing in action and then drive that sugar to either into fat storage or use it for energy. But if you have a lot of it coming, and the other side, the key is not opening, which means it is going to go beyond the normal levels, and what's going to happen is your body cannot function, and that's when we say you now have diabetes. So when you come to the hospital, ask what we are going to do. We are going to force that sugar to enter into the cells. Forcefully, we have to force it to enter. But you didn't want to reach at that point. But before we get to all this, we're talking about fitness, wellness, and health. because you have a lot of simple sugar coming in all the time, you're eating sugar all the time. Sugar has two pathways. When you take in sugar, it is either goes to glycogen storage or to fat storage, or some is used for energy instantly. So if you take in sugar for a period of time, because a lot of it is being converted into fat, that's when you start getting overweight, you start causing fat around your belly, you start causing fat around your hips, around your face, around your arms, everywhere. So you're not fat because you ate fat. You are fat, or you look fat because you ate too much sugar. So it is that fat over time that will cause insulin resistance, like what I've been explaining, where your door is no longer opening, where your padlock is no longer opening for glucose to enter, because sugar has covered, it has covered the receptors for insulin. So they are no longer receptive to insulin. So that's what makes sugar bad. But we said you still need to take in sugar. Mr. Agnes, I see you. Thanks for coming through. So what you're saying is try as much as you can to take in complex sugars because they have a lot of fiber. Number two, they're not going to spike up your sugars, which means less insulin, which means you're not going to have insulin knocking all the time. You don't have a lot of sugar that's being converted into fat, which means you're not going to have a lot of visceral fat, a lot of subacute fat, and a lot of, you're not going to have fatty liver disease. So you're basically going to be okay. So that's what makes sugar look bad for you. But other than that, you still need sugar and you can't survive without sugar. So guys, I beg if there's no any other question, thanks for coming to my LS. I appreciate you beyond measure. Thanks for coming. We are going to have more of this, and let me know if you want to see more of this, where we come and talk about some different health topics related to fitness, but also health-wise. Feel free to always let me know when you still want to see more of this, because I want to satisfy you, not satisfy myself. Otherwise, I would love to end this live stream here. See you in the next LS. Mad love.